of Giannis, he had some interesting comments, guys, when it comes to LeBron James, who's set to kick off the season as his Lakers take on the defending champs, Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. In a conversation with The Athletic, Giannis spoke on LeBron's GOAT status, saying, quote, "Some guys might say he's number 2, but other guys like me, I say he's number 1, and he's still going." Shannon?
Yes.
You agree with Giannis?
Of course. Now, look, if you want to say the GOAT status is solely based on rings, I don't have an argument because 6 is more than 4. But that's the only time you use that argument because Russell has more. There's several other Celtics that have more than 6, and you never include them in the GOAT discussion. But I believe LeBron James has played better longer than any other player in the history. And if you look at the teams that he's lost to, you tell me the team that Michael Jordan played in the NBA Finals that's comparable to the 17-18 Golden State Warriors. There isn't one.
Oh, and you know what?
No. Steve, you interrupted.
This is blasphemous. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you were finished. I thought you were finished. Go ahead with the blasphemy.
Here's the thing, Legs, and you know this. Normally, contemporaries won't say a contemporary is a GOAT. When I talk to comedians, none of them say put Chappelle as the GOAT. They say, nah, he's my contemporary. When we talk about baseball players and we talk about singers, they don't put them on the GOAT list. They go back. But for Giannis, one of the 2 best players, he's either first or second. I got Jokic 1. I got Giannis as the second best player in the NBA. But to have him say that, because we hold so much credence when everybody else say Jordan, you don't hang your head, Stephen. They pick your head up when I'm talking. You pick your head up, you look at that camera, you look at me. When other players say that Jordan is the GOAT, you up here pounding the table about, you heard what he said? Did you hear what he said? He got these championships. He got his MVP. He did that, right? He did it's not fluid. No, LeBron James is the GOAT. And until otherwise noted, nobody's knocking him off that throne. So I don't know who the guy that's going to come along in 5-10 years to try to claim this throne. But right now, until otherwise noted, it's one LeBron Ramon James.
LeBron James is like a godfather or an uncle. I'm sure you can relate, Unc. He's like a godfather or an uncle to most of the damn players playing today. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this dude is a guy that is a 4-time champion, a 4-time league MVP. I don't know if you noticed him like that. I mean, it's an actual insult. It's so insulting. I mean, LeBron could hardly look at me and Rich Paul and Maverick and everybody losing their damn mind. I got him number 2 all time in the history of basketball. And that's an insult to people like Shannon Sharpe and Rich Paul and these guys. It's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. But he is, okay? It's not a 6-time champion, a 4-time champion. You talk about teams that LeBron is going against, and KD with Steph and Clay. Jordan never went against anybody like that. Guess what, Shannon? We wouldn't know. You know why? Because in 6 NBA Finals appearances, Tim Legler, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan never even allowed a series to get to a Game 7. He never allowed it to get that close. When you talk about the greatness of LeBron James, there have been times where we've debated, well, is KD on that level? You know, Kobe back in the day, was he on that level? God rest his soul. Others as well. But when Michael Jordan was playing, you know this, was it not Michael Jordan and everybody else? Did everybody not know it was Michael Jordan and everybody else? Is there not a difference between respect and reverence as opposed to fear? Yes, it is. I'm talking about a 10-time scoring champion, 9-time All-NBA defensive team player, a 6-time champion, a 5-time NBA Finals MVP. I'm sorry, playing 82 games a year, 80 to 82 games a year, about 9 or 10 of those years, okay? That Michael Jordan. Don't come to me about GOAT James and giving me some youngster as great as Giannis is, young whippersnapper, wet behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac, living in Greece, talking to me about how LeBron James is better than a dude that was balling before he was born. And by the way, even when he was born, he's the reason you knew about basketball in Greece, for crying out loud. It's because of Michael Jordan. You didn't bring that up while you were in Greece. And I'm not disrespecting Giannis. Giannis in any way because I love Giannis in the whole nine. I'm simply saying his youth. You didn't know about basketball. You wouldn't know about basketball if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. What the hell are you talking about? So let's see. You can talk all that junk all you want to, but there's levels to this, and I'm telling you right now, LeBron James is phenomenal as he is. Number 2 all time. Never, ever, MJ. It never happened. It never happened.
Well, listen, it's well documented how I feel about this topic as well. But you know what this reminds me of right now? And just
how do you feel about
even
this
how
topic?
passionate, how passionate you just got, how passionate
I'm just saying, I
Shannon
haven't
is.
heard how you felt about it.
I'm going to remind people in a second because I get this question all the time.
Okay.
But look how the temperature raised so fast. You know what it reminds me of?
Shannon.
You know what this reminds me of right now? This conversation is very much like the political tenor in the world right now.
Oh.
You on one side, right? And the people that believe LeBron are on the other side, and you're never going to convince the other side. You're just never. If you're a LeBron guy, you are never.
I am a LeBron guy.
Ever going to
with everybody but MJ.
No, but listen. LeBron James, here's why I am with LeBron. LeBron, over the last 5-6 years, has gotten himself to a place where he is the only person worthy of the debate. It's actually now a legitimate debate. But I'm with you, Stephen A.
Okay.
He's number 2.
Thank you.
And he's going to stay number 2, and that's where it is. Look, and I got some personal bias in this too a little bit because I did play against that man. My whole career was the decade of the 90s, and he won 6 rings. And if he didn't have some personal issues and a hankering to go hit a backdoor slider for a couple of years, he'd probably have 8 rings. And then this, I don't think we'd be even discussing this if that happened. You would no longer be even trying to get LeBron into that conversation if Michael Jordan had stayed in the NBA and won 8 straight rings, which he probably would have.
Hold it. You just going to ignore the migraine headache and Scottie Pippen don't show up in the game 7? You just going to ignore that? You just going to ignore that? You're going to ignore that in a game 7? The brother got a migraine. Really?
Hey, and to your point right now, one of the reasons I will go with MJ is this. Michael Jordan never had anybody comparable to him offensively.
Thank you.
He played on. As great as Scottie Pippen was, he's not even close to being on that level on a given night to what Michael Jordan was offensively. LeBron did have Dwayne Wade, who got him through some tough moments. He did have Kyrie. He did have Anthony Davis, who won a Finals MVP.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not taking anything away from Scottie and Dennis Rodman and the groups that he had. But when you go look, Michael Jordan left Chicago. Scottie Pippen never averaged more than 14 points a game after that. There's a reason. At 33 years old, he went right to 14 points a game. He had a ceiling offensively that Jordan was able to elevate those guys. LeBron, as great as he is, he did have guys like Dwayne Wade to go get you 35, 40 in a playoff game, if that's what you needed that night. Kyrie to do what he did in the Golden State series that they won. Anthony Davis to be the best player on the floor in the Bubbles final that they won. So there's so many elements to this argument, Shannon. But for me, I'm with Stephen A. in this respect. I think LeBron's got the greatest basketball resume of all time. It used to be Kareem. I think now it's LeBron James. But that doesn't mean he's the greatest player of all time.
I think LeBron James, I got him number 2 all time, but I don't think his resume is better than Kareem.
I think his resume is greater.
Resume better than Kareem?
I think it is.
High school, college, pros, 19-time All-Star.
Well, LeBron,
19-time greatest what?
I didn't know, and that's why I said, but LeBron skipped college, so we'll never know what that could have been, right? He probably would have played 1 year anyway. So it's a different era in terms of the college. But
I'm just saying resume, not talent.
He plays like a point guard and became the all-time leading scorer.
Okay, go ahead, Shannon.
But see, Stephen A., that's what you always try to do that. You keep on talking about, he wouldn't have did this, he wouldn't have did that.
Oh, my God.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If somebody said Michael Jackson is the second greatest entertainer of all time, you going to hit him over the head.
Hold on. Pause. I would disagree with that. But I wouldn't hit him over the head. Sit up when I'm talking to you. Sit up when I'm talking to you, Shannon Sharpe. I'm saying to you, bro, I would say no, I disagree with them, but I wouldn't hit him over the head if they said Prince. I would sit up there and say, well, that is Prince that they brought up here.
Okay, right.
Prince and Michael Jackson. Now, nobody else. Okay,
but see
but Prince, Michael Jackson, you may say Prince, I ain't going to hit him over the head.
But you see what you did? You see how you lowered your voice when you talk about, I would say Prince, but that ain't what you do. That ain't what you do in LeBron James. When you talk about you put him number 2, and all you do is that you stay elevated about Mike being number 1. You said, I would say Prince. I would say Prince.
Some people would say Prince, and I would not disrespect him for that. But I'm telling you this, I'm not going to give. Listen, LeBron James' resume, not talent. Number two, I get it because, like you said, point guard, the things he could do. But I'm not going to say he's got a better resume than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar now. I think that's going too far. I think that's going too far.
I'm just saying, once we win 5, I don't want to have this conversation no more. I refuse. Once LeBron James win the title this year, I refuse to have another GOAT debate.
I have to take. Well, you can refuse it all you want to, my
What
brother.
if LeBron won the title this year?
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm cool with the debate. I'm cool with the debate. You win the championship.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the debate.
It's a worthy debate.
Well, the key to listen, I think that if you take LeBron James since he won the title and you compared it, it's debatable.
Yeah.
Now, my issue is those first years that it took you to win the championship. There's a difference when MJ doesn't have enough, as opposed to LeBron, who D. Wade and Pat Riley had to get in their head and remind him of his greatness.
Shannon, I have something from you, from our fantastic researcher, Josh Boyd, who just texted me. See, that's why my phone vibrates. He said, to Shannon's point on which teams LeBron faced in the finals could Jordan have won against, NBA Finals appearances as betting underdog, LeBron 7 out of 10 teams, Jordan 0 out of 6.
Well, maybe that's because Michael Jordan was so great that he was never an underdog.
And that is a ridiculous.
Did anybody think about that? I don't understand that.
Josh Boyd is a tremendous talent. Stay in your damn lane, mind your business when we debating this stuff. Don't try to slide information.
Wait, are we saying that Chicago could not have beaten any of those Golden State teams then? Is that what we're saying?
Hey, we look, all I know is that the 17-18 or the 18-19 Warriors were voted best team ever. That's all I know.
Come on, man.
That's all I know.
Man. Come on, man. I see I'm going to have a long year. I'm going to have a long year having to deal with this stuff.
I know what those Chicago teams look like defensively.
You ain't the only one that can mean mug the camera and lean back 1 minute and all of this other stuff with your blasphemy.
Isaiah Thomas beat him so bad, so much, he won't even speak to Zeke right now. He refused to speak to Isaiah because Isaiah did it.
Well, let me ask you this. I love Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons have a point with that. But let me ask you this question. Who didn't speak to who publicly? Wasn't it Isaiah that didn't speak to MJ when MJ finally won and they walked off court? Now, there's reasons to it on a serious level. Then we get all of that, and I love my man Zeke. But the point is that we don't know about MJ not speaking to Isaiah. We saw the Pistons not speak to the Chicago Bulls once they got taken out.
But you know where he got that from? You know where Zeke got that from? He got that from Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Parrish.
That's true.
Because when the Pistons beat them, Boston walked off the court, and nobody held
McHale did.
Hey,
McHale did.
At least we all agree on this. It's a two-man conversation.
It's a two-man conversation.
It's a two-man
conversation.
Okay.
And that should be enough for LeBron and his cohorts to feel respect.
And my guy ain't the second man. All I'm saying, my guy ain't the second man. It's a two-man conversation, but he ain't two.